Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about how to get started with getting your horse to step onto or walk over an obstacle. I'm going to show you with two different horses with two very different personalities and levels of bravery. And the thing that I'm having them step onto today is a pretty thin foam mat, the kind that you would see in a lot of kids' playrooms. And this first horse is Rocco. And he's been trained with clicker training how to follow a target, which is the blue thing that I'm holding in my hand. And so what I'm doing is right now I'm just kind of showing him the mat. He's super wary of anything that changes by his feet. You can see he's kind of looking at it, and I'm asking him to follow the target, which basically means I just want him to touch his nose to the blue pool noodle on the end of my dressage whip there, and I'm clicking and rewarding anytime he either steps on the mat or follows the target. So we're just doing a couple laps around the mat right now because he did not really seem like he wanted to step on it initially. Even though he's been on lots of different mats, everything for him is a very new and very different experience. We kind of have to start from the beginning, and a lot of horses will be like this. You'll notice that I also switch directions because horses have monocular vision. A lot of times they'll process things differently on one side than the other. So with something new, it's actually important for them to see it on both sides. And so again, I'm just asking him to walk around the mat and maybe step a little closer to the mat using the target. And then anytime he either touches the target or is following the target willingly or steps on the mat or gets a little closer to stepping on the mat, I'm clicking and rewarding. I'm kind of using the click and reward as almost like I'm saying warmer when you're playing the warmer, colder game. So now he's facing it. And my goal here is I want him eventually to walk all the way on the mat and then stay there for a little bit so I can do some of his standing core work. Because the mat's a little squishy and unstable, it actually ups the level of the standing core work, just like if you were doing balance stuff on like a squishy mattress. It would be a lot harder to balance than if you were standing on a sturdy floor. So that's why I even care about him getting on the mat in the first place. But this same concept can be used for anything from a platform to them walking over a tarp or stepping on a plank of wood. You name it, the same concept can work for that. So we're still circling, and I'm really taking my time with him because I know from past experiences if I try to rush him, it's only going to set us back and he's going to see the mat and get really frantic because he has really bad associations with it. So I'm just letting him take as much time as he needs. And sometimes it can be really hard to have patience when you have a horse that's like this. So I just focus on taking deep breaths and trying to just kind of enjoy the process. So now we're approaching it head on, and I'm asking him to put his feet on it. And he's getting a little closer. There we go. Good. And so I would love for him to whoa and stand still. I'm actually going to see if he'll back up and get his front feet back on it, but he doesn't want to, so I'm just going to let him walk forward again and reward him for walking all the way over it, because that was a really good try. Walking across it was a big step for him, and so asking him to stand is a bigger step. So there I clicked and rewarded before he got all the way off the mat. And I'm going to try to see if he'll back up again. And he's been taught to back up using the clicker, so he knows he's not being forced to back up. And right there he said, nope, I want to keep walking. And again, that's fine. With a horse like this, the more time you take this first time, the easier it's going to be down the road. So here's our third time walking across it, and I clicked and rewarded while his front feet were on. And I'm going to see if I can get him all the way on and click and reward while all 4 feet are on. and notice my rate of reward goes up. I'm clicking and rewarding in very quick succession because I want him to realize when all 4 feet are on the mat, it's a really good place to be. And there he actually backed up for me, which was really awesome. And so when he does something new, that's when you really want to up the rate of reinforcement. So I'm just shoving food in his mouth because I want him to know that the mat's a great place to be and there's nothing bad that's going to happen there, only good things. So then I pull out my target again and I'm asking him to do a few of his carrot stretches. I'm not asking for any of the really big stretches, just pretty basic ones like nose to shoulder, nose to girth, because I know he can do these really well on solid ground. This is also kind of a way to distract him. It gives him something that he's really good at doing and is very willing to do on the ground. And so it kind of distracts him from the fact that he's actually on the mat and gives him something else to do. A lot of times it's a lot easier to do something like this and get them to stand there than it would be if I just made him stand and think about the scary mat that all 4 feet are on. So I'm really pleased we actually got to this point with our first session on this mat. And the next horse I show you is going to be a lot different because he's just a different horse and it's totally okay. You might have one more like this horse Rocco, or you might have a horse that's a little bit more like Finnick, who's coming up next. So Finnick, I pull out of the stall and I wasn't even asking him to go on the mat and he just like climbs right on. He is young and very curious and he has had a ton of experience with just all kinds of things. I got him as a 1-year-old and it was my goal to just expose him to as many different things as I could and have tons of positive experiences. I'm actually asking him to side pass towards me right there to straighten up, which he does. And again, we've had tons of experience just like stepping on new things, and I've encouraged with him a lot of curiosity and tried to make anything new a really good experience for him. And some of that is why he's so willing to hop on. He also just has a naturally curious and pretty brave personality as well. So that definitely helps with this. And so I'm doing his carrot stretches here. Again, I like doing them on the mat because it further challenges their balance and makes them work their core. And I'll also be asking him to do some crunches, which is another kind of standing core work where I'm just asking him to tuck his hips underneath him and flex his haunches and lift his withers, which you'll see me do here in a second. But just like with Rocco, anytime he does something that I have asked him to do that I want, I'm clicking and rewarding. Just for him, it's for different things. I didn't have to circle the mat or coax him on or ask him to whoa. So I'm just giving him things to do. He's a very active horse and he really enjoys me giving him an opportunity to earn a reward. So that's why I'm keeping it kind of busy. Right here, he's doing his crunches. You can see him kind of throw his head and neck back, which is not exactly what I want when he does these, but I'm getting some nice hip rotation. And here I'm going to ask him to turn so you can actually see in the camera his hips kind of tuck underneath him. I have some other YouTube videos that talk about how to teach the crunch. And we're going to reposition. So both these videos are the first time I've used this mat with either of these horses, and I really like to do that so I can give you a really clear view of what it looks like the first time without me getting time to really work with them on it or polish it. So here you'll notice his hips kind of tucking underneath him and rotating under, which is something that we've worked on really hard. So that's the 2 horses, and I hope that this was helpful for you guys to give you a really good starting point for figuring out how to get your horse to start walking over obstacles or for standing on things like a platform. But I also just wanted to show you the 2 different horses that are very different from each other. So I hope this was helpful. Like and subscribe to my page for more videos like this, and feel free to drop a comment if there's another training thing that you would like for me to discuss. Thanks for watching.